All right. Hey, everyone. This is Rudy, and it's December the 5th, the year 2016. And I'm working my way down a very long list of things I want to draw out to people's attention. And basically, this one is going to be titled Liars for Hire and Using Known Perjured Testimony. I want to show you how much of a liar this $300,000 whore, Hell's Angel drug runner, drug user, had a con man who was trying to avoid his own life sentence, and he was trying to do something to get out of going to jail for the rest of his life himself, and he ultimately did that. But anyway, because basically, when the government is so corrupt, they'll end up partnering with very corrupt people to target innocent men. A prime example of that is when the government used a known pedophile, Bill Allen, who was having sex with underage girls, Bambi Tyree, 15 years old, at the Ocean View house. Schaeffer Cox was trying to expose that. And so what happened is the government used fabricated testimony from Bill Allen, who was having sex with underage girls allegedly at the Ocean View house. And they used that testimony to set up Senator Ted Stevens, and it cost Senator Ted Stevens the re-election bid. And he was the longest running Republican senator in United States history. So you got not only that going on, but then you come over to the Schaeffer Cox case where you have the same prosecutor, Joseph W. Bottini, partnering up with a Hell's Angel drug runner, drug user, con man who's trying to avoid his own life sentence, Gerald J.R. Olson. And he's basically using fabricated testimony, liars for hire, to go against Schaeffer Cox. Now, this is only at the state level, but they knew this was going to go to the federal level, and Karen Loeffler had been working with FBI and prosecutors, United States prosecutors like Joseph Bottini, Yvonne Lamore, and Stephen Scrocky. So anyway, what do I want to? I want to call out some highlights, and I've highlighted. This is a 286-page document, and I wanted to bring some highlights to your attention. Okay, this is remember, this is at the state level where it got all dismissed, right? Keep in mind that they're charging not only Karen Vernon, Francis Cox, Lonnie Vernon, Coleman Barney, but they're also charging Mike Anderson, who slit his wrist when they put so much pressure on him to rat out his friend because he wouldn't lie on his friend. There wasn't anything to rat out. So they made Michael Anderson slit his wrist because they had treated him so bad. And then Rachel Barney, who's eight months pregnant, the wife of Coleman Barney, they even charged her. That shows you how evil these bastards are. Anyway, let's go down. This is the transcript of the grand jury proceedings. It took me a long time to find this document. So now that I find it, Schaeffer's given me some heads up on what to look for and how much of a liar Gerald J.R. Olson, that $300,000 whore, really is. All right, let's jump to page 73. I think will be the first place we'll jump. Scroll down, and I've highlighted everything in yellow. Okay, and then this is testimony where Mike Gray is the district attorney at the state level, and Mike Gray asked a question, and this is the answer. This is question, and this is answer. This is answer from $300,000 whore Gerald J.R. Olson. Here's what he wrote. And then if, and you know, Gerald J.R. Olson has a stuttering problem, probably because he's lied so much his whole life, he can't ever say the truth, and so maybe his subconscious is bothering him. I don't know. And then if they were going to pursue coming after him, that the plan 2-for-1 would go into effect. Where if they arrested him, we were to go in and capture two of them. That's a dang lie. There's nowhere that says that Schaeffer Cox initiated anything like that. That is a complete lie that Gerald J.R. Olson fabricated for the grand jury. Let's jump on to page 91. 91 will be the next one I want to bring to your guys' attention. Okay, this is a question from Mike Gray, the district attorney. He says 2-for-1, and so if somebody captured the way it was explained, at least on Saturday the 12th, if the authorities arrested Schaeffer, what was the plan? What was everybody else supposed to do? Answer, this is from $300,000 whore Olson. he had told us to set up a Twitter account, and if he got captured, he would Twitter a text to his Twitter account that would go to our phones 241, and that would instigate. Okay, his plan 241 question. Okay, now if 241 goes into play and he has been captured as a member of the Peacemakers militia, what were you supposed to do? Here comes the liar, $300,000 whore. We were supposed to go and start rounding up anybody that had anything to do with his case. The judges, the state judge, McConaughey, the troopers that were involved with the case, and basically anybody that could have prevented from arresting him. So the DA Arnie and the DA, just everybody involved in his case having to do with law enforcement or the court system. That's a dang lie. There's nothing to support that lie. He's lying to the grand jury just as blatantly as you can get. So I wanted to bring to your attention that lie. That's on page 91. Let's jump to page 97, where I wanted to call to your attention another lie. Okay, so the question from Mike Gray, the district attorney, says, okay, and he was trying to talk Schaeffer out of it? I think he's talking about a man by the name of Ken Thesson. And he was trying to talk Schaeffer out of it? Was Schaeffer having any of it? Was he saying, well, maybe that's a good idea, Ken. Maybe this is not a good idea, and we should abandon it. And here's the answer, which is using known perjured testimony. This is a liar for hire, a lifetime criminal, lifetime liar, lifetime con man, and they're taking this as if it has any merit in front of the grand jury. Listen to this. Olson says, no, Schaeffer just kind of pushed Ken's opinion to the side and kept right up with the war drums. That's a dang lie. That's absolute lie. Let's go to page 219. And this will be the last one I want to show you guys. Okay, listen to this lie. Mr. Gray, any questions, members of the grand jury? Yes, ma'am. So an unidentified female juror asked this question. In the tapes that you listened to about Ronald Wall and Judge McConaughey, did you hear them talk about capturing or kidnapping or only murder? This is the answer from that $300,000 whore. Their version of the capture and kidnapping is to make an arrest of those individuals and transport them somewhere else. And then there certainly is a discussion of where are we going to hold them? How can we do this? And then later it kind of evolves. As the conversation continues, it evolves to just killing them. That's insane. There's nowhere where they talk about that. Mr. Gray, this is the district attorney. Initially, from your listening to the tapes, initially the plan was to merely, if Cox or his family or the militia were captured, they would just take 2 law enforcement officers. Is that correct? That was the initial plan? Answer from $300,000 whore. Yeah, a very brief part of the initial plan. District Attorney Mr. Gray. Okay, but then they get into discussions like, well, where are we going to take them to? $300,000 whore. Right, exactly. District Attorney Gray. Okay, and then from that discussion about where are we going to take them to, did they have a good answer? $300,000 whore. No. District Attorney Gray. Okay, so over the period of days, or I think it means weeks, over the period of days or weeks, did that kind of develop into, and in fact, at one point, does one of Cox, Barney, Vernon, or Vernon say it's just less messy or easier if we just kill him? And listen to this. Answer from $300,000 whore. Yes. There is no evidence, there is no audio evidence that Coleman and Vernon or Cox ever said, just kill him. That's an absolute lie. This whole thing is fabricated testimony from a con artist, $300,000 whore, who was trying to save his own hide. It's exactly the same thing when they used fabricated testimony from Bill Allen, a known pedophile who was having sex allegedly with Bambi Tyree, and they used fabricated testimony to set up an innocent man, Senator Ted Stevens, who mysteriously dies in a plane crash. So this is what your United States prosecutors are. This is how they operate. Now, in this particular case, it's at the state level, and you have prosecutor Mike Gray, right? But it's the same thing. It's the same. They all operate in the same manner. You see how evil they are, and it's just absolutely horrific. It's called overzealous prosecution. And you know what? Our society does not reward prosecutors who perform justice. We reward prosecutors who are winners. And so they will win at any cost. It doesn't matter if they have to put an innocent man in prison. If they have to put an innocent man in prison to further their career, they will do it. And how do they do it? They get paid government informants, snitches, to lie on the stand. And that's called using known perjured testimony. It's a criminal act in and of itself. And so when these prosecutors do that, not only does the person who lied, which in this case is a $300,000 whore, Gerald J.R. Olson, but the prosecutor who is using known perjured testimony, that's a crime. And these prosecutors need to be held accountable for the wickedness that they're doing as well. God bless everybody.